All right, so I've downloaded some streaming software, and I don't know how to use it, but I did Google a couple of things, and I am going to use it, and I am going to be extra in doing so because I'm always extra when I talk about dinosaurs because I get very excited about it. It should come as no surprise that I am a huge fan of Jurassic Park. I love it so much. The first movie is my favorite movie of all time. I think it's, and not even just because of the dinosaurs. I think it's this beautiful genetic opera, cautionary tale, sci-fi for meddling in God's domain. It's beautiful, dude. It's such a neat, fun, interesting idea, like messing with the evolution and nature, and I think it's beautiful. And I think it's so beautiful that it has managed to drag me along for 5 movies, most of which were carried, unlike Jurassic Park, entirely by just there are really, really well computer generated or practical effect dinosaurs with a multi-million dollar budget where Universal's just pouring all this money in. And that is pretty much. I'm cautiously optimistic for Dominion. I don't know if it's going to be a good movie. The last one was not. However, it did have some very cool animated dinosaurs in it, and it seems like they've really dropped the whole hybrid idea that they've been fooling around with previously. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm not here to talk about the story. I'm here to talk about the dinosaurs, and so I am going to talk about the dinosaurs. Let's get going. So at the end of Fallen Kingdom, the whole idea is now that the dinosaurs are out, and this first scene really illustrates that. Because, as you can see, they are out. They are hanging out. These are Parasaurolophuses. Fun fact, these have been in every Jurassic Park movie. Period. I don't think there's been one where there's not a Parasaurolophus in it. And these look great. They look quite different. It used to be just sort of a tan tone. But, you know, we know that these aren't actual dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. They're not direct clones. They're as much dinosaurs as they could get, and they mixed in a bunch of frog stuff. They're mostly just like genetic monsters made to look like real animals. But that said, you know, they're dinosaurs, right? Or we're not going to pretend they're not dinosaurs. And these look really cool. Yeah, so they've changed the colors of them. A new colorway. Looks like 2 different ones. This one's got, oh, sorry. This guy's got like some zebra stripes in the back there. You can kind of see it there. It's a bad frame, but you know, it looks great. I love that. And Chris Pratt's on a horse because I guess the dinosaurs ate all the cars. I don't know. Don't know why he's on a horse other than just like cool cowboy.
Something.
Oh, okay, sure. He is now lassoed this Parasaurolophus. I guess they're trying to like round him up. Maybe there's like a zoo in the game. You build like almost like a wildlife refuge for him. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it looks like he's petting him. And this Parasaurolophus, who was just really scared of him a few minutes ago, is now like, well, since you put a rope around my neck, I'm really comfortable with you now. Feel free to feel free to How to Train Your Dragon me.
It was real.
But it looks great, dude. Look at this guy. Oh man, love this. Wow. Hello, Chris. How you doing? Don't love Chris Pratt. You'll find that out. So, if I was a betting man, I would put money on this scene happening probably like 15 to 20 minutes into the movie. There always seems to be this general awe scene. You know what I mean? Like the first time the main characters see a dinosaur and they're like, oh yeah, you're really big. I remember that. You know, and they're like looking up and they're just like, whoa. It's usually a sauropod or if you're a Land Before Time person, a long neck. Like a Littlefoot kind of guy. In this case, it's an Apatosaurus, which was once thought to be Brontosaurus, but they swapped the skulls out. Really a bad deal for Apatosaurus because it used to be called Thunder Lizard, and I think Apatosaurus is like neck lizard. I'm not sure. That's probably wrong. Don't check my Latin. Just know that it's not Thunder Lizard, which is way cooler. And this was the girl from Fallen Kingdom. So you know that beautiful genetic opera from Jurassic Park, that cautionary tale, that ethos kind of goes out the window a little bit in Fallen Kingdom. And the last one, the kind of the guiding question was: do these genetically generated animals slash monsters deserve the same rights as, you know, actual animals? Which, you know, it's kind of an interesting ethical question until you start considering like the damage it could cause to introduce these things into the ecosystem, which I hope is explored in this movie. But the ham-fisted way that they got you to care about it was to be like, And this is John Hammond, the creator of Jurassic Park's granddaughter. She died, but we cloned her. And it's like, oh, don't you care now? She's a teenage girl. Empathy. You know, I don't know, dude. I didn't really love it. And I hope that, I don't know. I hope she has a good story resolution because her story's been kind of trash so far. It's an interesting idea. They just didn't develop it enough. And they really threw it in there. But it doesn't matter because look at these raptors. Okay, this is Blue, the protagonist, Velociraptor, Chris Pratt's sidekick, and her little baby, which I'm calling Baby Blue, really cute, raises an interesting question. How did Blue have this baby? Kind of harkens back to the first movie where when the dinosaurs got out, they started breeding really quickly. You'll see it's like the response to the call of life finds a way when Dr. Grant finds the little raptor nest and he's like looking at the eggs and he goes, life found a way. You know, it's very dramatic, great scene. But it raises an interesting question, is that happening here? Because the reason that happened in the first one is because some of the gaps in the genome for the dinosaurs, it's mostly dinosaur DNA as much as they could get. And you know, they just splice in a little bit of whatever the hell DNA, and in some cases they spliced in the DNA of an African frog who in social scenarios where one sex dominates the population group, the frogs can change. So if there's a bunch of males in the population group, that's not necessarily good for the reproduction and maintenance of the species, so it will actually swap sexes to female, and so that there's more females in the population, and that side of breeding can be achieved. I know these movies, dude. Look it up. I am in on the lore. But anyway, it raises an interesting question. How'd Blue have this baby? Maybe we'll get an answer. I sure hope so. They're just running. Oh, I love this shot so much, dude. Oh, it looks so awesome. Just like mother and daughter, because the whole thing with Blue was like, she was a good raptor because she was raised and nurtured and loved and stuff, and the Indominus was hurt because it was raised in a lab and treated coldly, and that's, you know, kind of his story. And then you get this cute little scene where they're like, Mom, is this how I properly stand on a snowy branch dramatically for the trailer? And she's like, oh, yes, child. Oh, it's so cool. Love that. Oh, sorry, hang on, let me just take a little look. God, that's beautiful. God, that's beautiful. I want to screenshot that and make it my desktop.
We can't keep her here forever.
Chris Pratt doing his typical How to Train Your Dragon approach.
Here again. We gotta protect her. That's our job.
Yeah, so at this part of the trailer, I was like, oh, cool, this is going to be like sort of a Fast and the Furious, family's everything, and Blue is my family kind of thing. But the rest of the trailer doesn't really indicate that, and I don't exactly understand what sort of danger Blue is in here. Maybe, I think there's a rival genetics company that's going to show up in this one. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but maybe they're trying to steal her DNA because she's like the good raptor, you know?
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist.
Here we see the big Mosasaur. My philosophy on the Mosasaur, which is like 6 to 8 times larger than any Mosasaur specimen ever found, is like, hey man, we're out here to have fun, dude. Like, let's have some fun. Let's make this big, stupid sea monster and just like let it attack ships. There's one shot in like I think it was like a little teaser a long time ago where it's just like swimming and it's like a wave and there's just a dude surfing and it's like, oh. It's so gnarly, man. It's so ridiculously big, and would just kill anything in the ocean, man. It would decimate the ocean's population, and I hope they explore that. I really do. Just a havoc on ecosystems. Oh my God! Oh, it's so big, dude.
We created an ecological disaster.
Deadliest catch. This is the only shot of the T-Rex in the whole trailer. As we know, that is the T-Rex from the original movie. Named Rexy by, I guess, Universal. I don't know. Fans? Who knows, dude? It all seems like viral marketing these days. But, you know, they're in front of a drive-in. That's a fun, like, hey, you're also at the movie. Wouldn't it suck if this happened? Oh.
Ellie Sattler.
Funny to meet you in a tent. Yeah, they're bringing back the original cast. Cool, whatever. We're here for the dinosaurs. This is a Procompsognathus, which they have placed an entire skeleton of. I guess they're not as rare anymore. This would be just highly irresponsible unless it was like a model or something. I don't know why they'd have that on a dig site. They're going to dig up more bones. What do they need? What do they need this guy? I don't know. Interestingly, this back here looks a little bit like the antagonist dinosaur, the skull of the Giganotosaurus. There's a 5-minute preview trailer which shows the mosquito biting the T-Rex, and that's the blood that they get, where they get the T-Rex DNA from. But she loses a fight with a Giga in that, and the Giga is shown later in the trailer, kind of just as like the bigger than a T-Rex this time, like a Spinosaurus kind of was for Jurassic Park 3.
You didn't come out all this way just to...
You didn't come all this way just to talk to me. You wanted to offer me millions of dollars to come back for this movie that... I don't know. Does my man want to do it? Look at those eyes. Does he look like he wanted to come back for another Jurassic Park movie? I don't know. He's like, you didn't come all this way just to catch up. Like, this whole time he's just like, oh, this is bad. It makes me think it's not going to be good. I'm scared. Anyway.
Catch up now, did you?
And look at you, girl. You look great. You look great in Star Wars. You're back now. Good God, killing it. Murders all around. He's kind of foxy too. A little bit of zaddy look. Okay, so I kind of get why Chris Pratt was on the horse. Now maybe the Parasaurolophuses like horses. I like that. They're friends with the horses. Kind of a throwback to they do move in herds from the first one. That's very nice. Good for you, Parasaurolophus. Making friends out of here. Let's go. So we don't get to see much of this guy, so I actually got some visual aids for you. His introduction's really cool because he's a weird dinosaur. He's a very weird guy. This is Therizinosaurus, a herbivore. He eats plants and stuff. But look at this. Look at all that. So snaky, so cool. And I actually have some visual aids, some drawings of him. Yeah, look at this guy. He's magnificent. Exquisite. Yeah, he's a super weird dinosaur. Very bird-like, more bird-like than most dinosaurs look like, I think. This weird neck, a short tail with plumage and everything. But the big feature here is obviously these huge claws. A few weeks ago, they released a promo image of Claire Dearing, like, going down in the water or being in the water with, like, her eyes poking up. And behind her is these big claws. And I was freaking out because I was like, it's Thery, he's here. And boy, love that coloration. Looks very similar to the one we just looked at.
We're racing toward the extinction of our species.
Oh, it looks so cool. Look at him. Great beak. We saw the beak. We saw the beak on the other one. That looks awesome.
We not only lack dominion over...
We lack dominion over it. Thank you, Jeff Goldblum, for saying that.
nature?
Oh, Henry Wu, the man who started it all. This guy's the head geneticist at InGen, the company that owned Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Really responsible for a lot of deaths, this guy, but somehow he's just hanging out in this killer cardigan. My man looks good. He looks real great. You're looking great, Henry. The years haven't touched you, dog. Look at this little salt and pepper look right there. I love that. But yeah, it's interesting why he's in this movie because, like, who's paying him? Who's doing this? I know he's kind of being turned into this crazy scientist character in the later films, but, it makes me wonder why he's in a lab, right? Because the park's closed, and they sold all the dinosaurs off. InGen's kind of just, like, liquidating, right? So there's got to be somebody else. And I'm thinking, and I really hope this is what happens, that it's Biosyn, the company that sent Dennis Nedry, the guy that was like stealing the embryos and he gets eaten by the Dilophosaurus in the Jeep scene. I think that it's going to be that company that was trying to steal the embryos that has now started making and generating their own dinosaur-like genetic monsters. And I think this guy might be one of them. This is one of the new dinosaurs from this one. It's a raptor, maybe a little larger than the Jurassic Park Velociraptors. I looked it up earlier, and it's called the Atrociraptor. A pretty small specimen, and like this is the only thing that we have of it. It's just like this one little jawline. And that's kind of how paleontology works. Sometimes you find just a little bit of something, but it's different enough that they're like, new species? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a paleontologist. I sort of follow it, but not that closely. Anyway, these guys look really cool and jumping in like, I don't know, man. I guess like Spain? maybe Italy. I don't know. Like weird location stuff. We'll get back to that in a second with Chris on the motorcycle contractually. So this thing that kind of looks like the Apple campus but gianter, I guess, I don't know, is, I'm thinking whatever rival genetics company it is. I don't think this is InGen. I don't think InGen has this kind of money anymore. I think that probably all the lawsuits and everything, they've been kind of like marked as like they were barely in Fallen Kingdom. It was just like the sale of the dinosaurs. That was the only thing that they did. But this looks pretty interesting. I would guess a breeding facility because it's got a port right here, and that looks like a large port that would be able to take ships out, or maybe like bring a Mosasaur in, or maybe they're trying to get all the dinosaurs here. It looks like there's helipads and air pads and stuff up here, and a lot of like a whole lot of maybe, I don't know, AC units. Maybe this is the enclosure down here. I don't know. And also this weird helicopter that has little two side buddies. I don't know what that is. Alan Grant looking out of a helicopter, and here we go, folks. Here we go. So did some research today, and I learned that this guy is the Pyroraptor, which is also a real species, very tiny. Traditionally, again, they're making the raptors way bigger. But look at them, dude. That's so awesome. But the real zinger here is that these feathers are pretty much what we think that all of the dromaeosaurids or raptors looked like. We were thinking that they got feathers. Y'all have heard about dinosaurs with feathers by now. It ain't that far from mainstream. But what's cool about it is that now in the movie series that has traditionally been, I would say probably everyone, at least in America's idea of what dinosaurs look like, is now presenting this scientifically accurate, interesting, and just really cool looking feathered dinosaur, right? You see these drawings. I think the reason that people never really caught on to the idea of feathered dinosaurs or were resistant to it was because all the drawings initially looked stupid. It was like a T-Rex with like just like a big poof of feathers around its head. It didn't look cool. This looks cool, and I think this will make people catch on to it because this guy looks very fierce. However, I'm hoping he's very small, and this is just like a Lord of the Rings Hobbit camera trick, and they're just like, I got you. Anyway, but yeah, so the first Jurassic Park, they had a paleontologist brought on, Mr. Jack Horner, and to be like a consultant to make sure everything was going right, to make sure that they recreated the dinosaurs in the most accurate way possible. And he was actually featured in the like open savanna big game hunt in the Lost World Jurassic Park when they're going for the Pachycephalosaurus, and he's talking to Muldoon. Sorry, I know the lore. But yeah, this guy looks great. These wrists don't look correct. It should be out like this. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. I'll try to make it work. The hand should be out like this, like a thumbs up, not like a zombie or like a dinosaur, like most people think dinosaurs look like. This would actually like break the wrist. That's a fun fact. Have fun with that fact. But when you see this scene, this looks right. That's about good. Yeah, I like that. You know, like a grasping motion. Oh, he looks so good. Okay, here's Laura Dern. Wearing a tied red shirt. It's more saturated than it was in the 90s, just like the rest of this movie. She's taking her glasses off. She's looking bewildered. But what is she looking at? What is this? Is this from Jurassic Park? What is this? What are these? Are these prehistoric bugs they brought back or something? Like, what is that? I don't understand. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe they try to like breed a bug or something and it goes haywire because they mess up the genetics and it rapidly reproduces and they're all in the house and they're coming out of the ground. I don't know, dude. It looks like nanobots, like a nanobot swarm chasing them. I don't understand, dude. It looks like something.
Come back.
I always come.
You sure do, Chris. You sure do. I never loved Chris Pratt as a Jurassic leading character. More I'm guessing. Kind of interesting. Here it looks like this one and this one kind of take after the coloration of the Site B raptors from Jurassic Park 3. Previously they were quilled. So I wonder if Biosyn or whatever genetics company this is There was another one in the Camp Cretaceous series on Netflix called Manticore, like Manticore. It was pretty good, like a amalgamation of different animals. Anyway, but it looks like they took the coloration from the Jurassic Park 3 raptors, and that would mean that this one, with the white and black pattern, would be the alpha. And then we just come into the piazza here, and it is Mexico. Those Mexico flags, I think. A piazza here, and look at this. Look at this. We got Carnotaurus over here, and we got Allosaurus over here, kind of like a mid-size brawl, right? I'm thinking this is Carnotaurus. The horns don't look quite as pronounced as they usually do on Jurassic Carnotauruses, but the skull looks short here, and there is a very red coloration. That's a bad YouTube pause, I know. But the hands are also very short, and that leads me to believe it because Carnotaurus have like no hands. It's hilarious. They like little chickens. But yeah, this is definitely Allosaurus, also featured in the Battle at Big Rock 10-minute short film. Up on YouTube, it's pretty good. It's like kids are camping, and here's Chris Pratt looking scared. He's running away, but they got a motorcycle chase scene, and there's a near miss with a velociraptor on a motorcycle. New ideas, I love them. Okay, as soon as I said that, this actually is a cool new idea.
Not exactly.
Like a nice plane fight. We love a plane attack. And it's big old honking mama Quetzalcoatlus, which was, I want to say, okay, so when I knew dinosaurs, like when I was keeping up with them, and when they like find a new one, I'd like write it down on my heart and my soul. The Quetzalcoatlus was the biggest. It was had the biggest wingspan of any pterosaur. I don't know if that still holds up. You might want to check me on that. I didn't do that kind of research. Because, oh, it just looks really cool. Let's see if we can pause like right on it. Shoot. Hold on. Okay, close enough. Yeah, he looks good. I love the crest. The coloration's nice. Great palette. You look great, my dude. You look great. I don't know why they're flying this AC-130 from World War II. But, don't come at me with the plain knowledge. Here's some of the Pseudoceratops flipping cars. Maybe that's why they don't flip cars. That was kind of cool. Let's freeze frame on that. All right, there we go. Okay, so I don't know what this is. This might be the Giga as well, the Giganotosaurus. But I don't know. It's pretty cool, and I don't know what she's in either. It doesn't look to be underwater, so I don't think it's the Mosasaur. Plus, the Mosasaur would be way bigger than that. But either way, pretty cool shot. Love that. Love that fight. Looks like they're in a power control. Can't quite see what that is. I don't think it's power. Wordle, give me your strength. Anyway. We get Dilophosaurus back. First time since the first movie. That's beautiful. It hadn't been in any of the other ones, except in Jurassic World, Blue chases Chris Pratt and the main characters through the Hammond Discovery Center, and one of those little holograms of it pops up and like flashes us out, and she's like, "Whoa, I can't go. I'm scared. Is this real? I'm a dinosaur. I don't understand technology." And this looks like the original like hand puppet, like the original Light and Sound. What is it? The group that did it? I don't know. Beautiful.
Don't move.
And here's both of them saying, "Don't move." Get it? We get it. You're both the leads in a Jurassic Park movie as the dinosaur experts. We get it. Also, Jeff Goldblum, dude, man, you just don't quit, do you, big guy? Love it. Here we see the Giga. We don't get much of a view. Saving it for the movies, I guess. This is the Giganotosaurus. In the preview, this dinosaur fights with the T-Rex that the mosquito bites that they use for to clone the T-Rex that we know in the Jurassic Park movies. That's in the Dominion prologue. That's on YouTube too. You'll probably be able to find it. But this in real life was actually bigger than T-Rex. Actually, let's pull it up, dude. Fun fact, there's one of these in the Atlanta Museum Fernbank. Apatosaurus. Don't judge me. Yeah, so real big head, real cool looking. This is him from the real ugly model, honestly. It doesn't look great. Yeah, that one actually, this is from the Dominion prologue. Doesn't look great. But yeah, this is the one in Atlanta. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Why do they always have to
Bigger.
go big?
Why do they always have to go bigger? I'll tell you why. Because just you can't do the same thing in movies twice. I don't like that. And hey, let's hope they don't. Yo, thanks so much for hanging out. If you've watched this long, I don't know why, but thanks, I guess. I know a lot about dinosaurs and I like talking about them. But yeah, I guess this is the end of my first trailer review. It might be my last, dude. I don't know, but either way, I had a pretty good time doing it. I hope that you did too. So have a good day. I hope you have a nice day. Bye.